Yo, what's poppin' everybody? This is Saber Fighter 4 here with a new deck on TCG Online. First of all, I want to give a quick thanks and a shout out to DJ Checker, goes by Miami Beach on Pokemon TCG Online. He helped me out sending me a few Fusion Strike and Darkness Ablaze packs, so thanks dude. It's thanks to some of the Darkness Ablaze packs that I pulled a second Centiskorch VMAX, so I thought to myself, might as well make a deck finally centered around on this card. So it's not the same card as it used to be when it first came out, but it's still relatively strong. What's really going to make it work is all of the great fire cards and Expanded and a few additional partners, I guess, like Volcarona that we can utilize. So, as I've said many times, VMAXs aren't really the hot thing anymore. They're technically still around, they're technically powerful, but the risk you the risk I guess you pay to use a 3 prize Pokemon when you can use 2 prize V stars with additional benefits, it's just much better. But this is Centiskorch VMAX. It is a VMAX going to give out 3 prizes, 320 HP. It's standard, it's solid. Other VMAXs have more HP, but we can work with it. And Gmax Sentiferno is the attack that we're going to be using most of the time. It's going to do 40 damage plus 40 for each extra fire energy on it. So basically, if you just have 2 to meet the attack, you're doing 120. But usually, you're going to be doing a lot more. It's going to be grabbing a fire energy every time you attack from the discard pile. I guess usually between your manual attachment and welder, you should have like 3 or 4 energies, and then it's going to build up as it attacks. So you're usually going to be doing at least 200 damage if everything goes right. Now, 200 damage is not quite enough to get one-hit knockouts, so the plan with this card is to hopefully build him up with a lot of energy so it becomes like an unstoppable, I guess, unstoppable Pokemon in the sense that it's going to get one-hit knockouts, and whatever gets promoted, if they can't finish it off, then they're going to get one shot in return. So that's the Gmax Sentiferno attack. The basic form, the Centiskorch V, it's a decent little Pokemon too, 210 HP, regular V, Burning Train, solid I suppose 180 for 4, and then the Radiating Heat is a decent first energy attack, 220 for 1, and we have the option to discard an energy on an opponent's Pokemon, and we can discard our own energy too to do that. It's actually pretty solid. It can come up against some decks because we want our energies, of course. We don't want to get rid of them, and it's sort of a bit contradictory in building this guy's attack, but it's the point in that he's going to get them back with the big attack, the VMAX attack. And we have ways to recover the energies too, like with the Blacksmith Supporter and other cards. So sometimes it'll come up, like it'll really annoy some decks, like perhaps Arceus the Agapalkia GX kind of mess up their plan a little bit when they're trying to do the combo. So it can come up. It's not a useless attack. So I do 4 and 2 of the VMAX line. We want to open with Centiskorch V, increase our chances the best, so that's why I just max it out. Why not? I got the copies. And then 2 of the VMAX should get the job done. Next up, I got some backup attackers, namely Volcarona V. This is a card from Evolvent Skies. It wasn't around when Darkness Ablaze came out. This is a nice little tool fire decks can use. Obviously, this card has a full deck around it that's pretty annoying, sort of a turbo fire deck. But it's actually a very good tech revenge Pokemon, late game Pokemon in any fire deck. You're gonna shuffle all of your fire energies from the discard pile back in your deck, and then it's gonna do very, very high damage depending on the amount of energies you shuffled back in. So, serves 2 purposes. Being a nice 1 energy mono revenge attacker that's gonna potentially do, I mean, a lot of damage, 200 damage, 250, even more. It just depends on the energies we shuffle back in. And it just recovers all of our energies, so you never have to worry of running out of fire energies with this Pokemon. So it's quite good. The other fire attacker is going to be Entei V, just a very solid fire Pokemon. If I open with it, I can draw a card every turn with this ability. It's pretty nice. And then with a lot of Pokemon on the bench, Burning Rondo, it's going to be a very solid attack. And Expanded does all the tactics with Skyfield, and just players want to use even more than 5 Pokemon. So it's going to be even better in that regard. And it's just a very solid regular V fire Pokemon. I mean, 30 HP, best you can ask for. Great ability, great attack, just 2 energies to make it work. So very flexible Pokemon. And then the good old Double V. I guess you don't need to run this card because we have Entei and perhaps Volcarona, but I still included it. Different type, Revenge Pokemon, Soft Wool, excellent, just regular V Pokemon, 100%. Just very, very flexible, very versatile in any deck with energy acceleration because it just needs colorless energies to work. So we use it. And then the other dudes are basically in here for support. Volcanion right here, this hollow, I only have 2. If I had 3 or 4, I'd probably run, well, 3 or 4. I don't know about 4, but definitely 3. Firestarter is an amazing attack. It's really what kind of gives this VMAX Centiskorch a little bit of hope. If we can play second and get this effect off, it's just a huge advantage. Get like 3 fire energies from the deck to Centiskorch already. It's already pretty built, and it's going to be able to get one-hit knockouts at that point on anything after you use a welder on it too. So it's pretty good. It's a regular Pokemon too, so it can work as a counter with 4 fire energies in a play. Does a solid 110 for 2. It's pretty good. Nice basic legendary Pokemon. I think it's the best basic regular fire Pokemon to run in a deck like this. Just any fire deck that needs a lot of energies, it's going to put in the work. There's the other Volcanion too from Steam Siege. That card is also pretty good. Maybe a little bit more, I guess, reliable in the sense that it's gonna give you more energies after the first turn when it attacks from the discard pile. But I think this card is just a better card overall right now. So we use it. And then I do the 1 Mew bench protection, enough said. And then double Tapu Lele GX. Now, this is our, I guess, support ability Pokemon from the high-end dudes like Dedenne GX, Tapu Lele, Crobat V. You guys know what I'm talking about. Luminion now, I guess. And we're using 2 of them because it's going to fetch me Welder. This is the type of deck that we really just want to exploit Welder as much as possible. It's what makes these fire decks good. And you need it. I mean, that's the only way this guy can have a big, strong attack. And we can keep up with attaching energies, powering up our high energy Pokemon. So I have other supporters, of course, that's going to let me draw cards, shuffle and draw, like Cynthia and Standard. But we seriously want to take advantage of Welder for the most part, and then maybe use the other supporters. I mean, if I don't have Welder, then I got to use things like N. But we want to utilize Welder as much as possible. And 2 copies of this helps me see it. I even have a fog crystal to search it. So that's what Tapu Lele GX is for. We can also even attack with Energy Drive in this deck. So it's probably better to use this rather than Luminion V, but it depends on what you prefer. So that's Tapu Lele GX. And these are all the Pokemon. So I guess when it comes to trainers, the energy acceleration aspect is very important. So I guess I'm going to start with that. So Welder, as I've said, max this out. Engine, heart and soul of the deck. You need this for the deck to work. Lots of ways to grab fire energies from the deck, so we can make this card live. You only draw 3 cards. I mean, I say only. It's just amazing when you can draw 3 and attach 2 fire energies from the hand. But the issue still is, if you're using this card for energy acceleration to power up your Pokemon, you're drawing 3. It's decent, but it may not be enough for you to see your evolution pieces, your heavy balls and stuff to grab Centiskorch. So there's always a little bit of risk involved, but I never said this deck was perfect. So that's Welder. I do 1 Blacksmith as well. This is actually a pretty solid supporter mid to late game when perhaps we have a few fire energies in the discard pile we don't have in hand, and we can just use this dude. So very, very nice. And because, of course, in Expanded there's V as Seeker, I always have a lot of flexibility. Just included 1 copy of this card. You know that, okay, maybe I'll use 1, maybe I'll use more than 1. So just having it in the deck, 1 copy as an option, it just gives you flexibility when it comes to the fire energy acceleration type of card that you need. So definitely want to do at least one. Okay. And then I guess for the other fire energy, fire specific cards, I guess, I mean, we have a bunch of fire fetchers. Of like, I've got the double Professor's Letter. Grab two basic energies in hand. It's great. Of course, I still do the Giant Hearth, but Giant Hearth is a stadium, so if you do this, you can only get this effect once per turn, and you gotta discard. So with Giant Hearth and Letter, you can potentially just use them together. If you have the damn, I forget the name, but it's the like Fire Coal card that just you discard two, grab four fire energies from the deck. You could use that too. I don't have it. Maybe I'd include one copy if I had it, but I don't have those. And it's, I mean, double discard to grab four. You can just grab two for free with this, and you got Giant Hearth too. So I don't know. I mean, it makes sense to use it, but there's other options too if you don't have it. So good enough. So two of this, and then we do the Heat Factory too. Just more drawing. Pretty good. Gonna put fire energies in the discard pile. In a way, this deck wants energies, fire energies in hand, but it also benefits from having them in the discard pile too. So you're good to go. So this is nice. Gonna give us a draw power and another stadium. And I've got the fire torch too for an additional dump one, draw two, item draw. Just turbo up our deck as much as we can, so that hopefully, between Welder and a few other item draw cards, Stadium draw in this case with Heat Factory, we just draw what we need. Because obviously you can't play a Welder and like an N or Cynthia on the same turn. That's the point. To make sure we always have Welder and we utilize Welder as much as we can, I do the double random receiver. So hopefully we reveal a Welder or something, or just reveal a supporter. And then I do triple via Seeker as opposed to just two. Just once again, recycle and recover. More welders, blacksmith in this case as well. And just keep getting fire energies on the field. Gotta do this. Other standard cards like the Trainer's Mail, I do the one switch and one floatstone for some switching outlets too. Nice to have them. What else? I guess the ball cards for our Pokemon consistency. I do 4 Heavy Ball. Heavy Ball is the best ball or searching card to run in this deck because it's great. It's gonna fetch us the basic Pokemon, pretty much everybody, even Entei. Just grab, yeah, not grab this guy, but just grab everything else basically that we definitely need. And grab the stage 1, like the VMAX evolution Pokemon in this case. So it's just perfect. If you would do something like Quick Ball, you gotta discard, you can't get evolution pieces. With this, it functions as an evolution incense and a basic Pokemon fetcher. I still do one Nest Ball, just to get a basic Pokemon free on the bench, get something else. And then the Fog Crystal, I got 3 targets. It's the Tapu Lele, so we can grab it for a Welder, so it just becomes more supporter cards. And then I guess if I really want to get Mew for bench protection, I got the option for that too. So just costless cards without having to pay discard costs or other annoying costs. So that's why this card is in here. But I mean, if you want to do like Quick Ball for Tapu Lele, you can do that if you'd like. But it does make a big difference, all of the discards you're going to have to do. Same with Ultra Ball. Alright. Pokemon Recovery, Rescue Stretcher, Standard. One of these should be good enough. And I do 1 Fire Crystal as well for some Fire Energy Recovery. Get Fire Energies in the hand. Welder becomes live. Heat Factory. Can use that. Do a bunch of things. Manual Attachment. Amazing recovery card. Okay. And I think the last 2 cards for items anyway is the 1 Field Blower, just 1. Normally I do 2 in my decks and expanded especially, but there's not really, abilities. We do have abilities, but if we lose our abilities, it's not the end of the world against Garbodor like some other decks. And I just really need space for a bunch of different cards. So just 1 Field Blower, and of course the aspect of choice is the Computer Search. More consistency, another method to instantly get Welder or Blacksmith. So you gotta have it, I believe. I think this is better than Dowsing Machine in this deck for sure. Okay, and I think that's about it when it comes to items. The rest of the supporters are just going to be one-ups and some standard stuff. You got the boss's orders, which isn't going to give us consistency, but you just win the games using it at the right time. I got plenty of VS Seekers too, so we should be good with one boss's orders. We do one Cynthia, one N. They have sort of different functions. Cynthia is the reliable, always shuffle and draw 6. You're not going to give your opponent any cards, not going to mess around with them, their hand. And of course, it's great, wins you the games using it at the right time, late game. So just one and plenty of VS Seekers should be able to make use of this card as well. One Juniper, just heavy duty dump and draw, can be handy if we have a low hand size. And then the Chorus, of course, it's Chorus. Lots of draw with heavy benches. And basically, that's the supporters. Rest of the cards is just the energies, just 12 fire energies. I know that other, Centiskorch decks use like the burn energy, or what the hell is the name, like the heat energy, giving it 20 HP. Yeah, that's cool and all. Having this dude have 340 HP, maybe even 360, but it just conflicts with basically every fire type specific card in this deck, like Welder and Fire Crystal and Heat Factory. So I just decided I don't need them. It even conflicts with Volcarona. So, or I guess, yeah, basic energies. You only get basic energies. So this guy even, especially if we use his effect, get 3 fire energies on the second turn, then you only have if a few of them are prized, you have a few in hand, and then you use this. Before you know it, you might only have like 6 energies left in the deck, and those special energies are going to conflict with your shit. So that's why no special fire energies, just straight basic fire energies, 12 of them. That's what I think is best. And this is the Centiskorch deck, guys. Like I've said, it's not the same deck as it used to be. This was a top meta deck when Darkness Ablaze came out, and even when like Vivid Voltage and whatever the other recent sets after Darkness Ablaze were. It was a good card. A lot of the fire support that I shown here was in standard too. Nowadays, things are even faster, hit even heavier, so it's really dangerous. It's not going to be as easy to build him up, and just build him up with a lot of energies and attack, basically. But should still be a solid Pokemon. At the end of the day, I'm going to show you guys games so you can see if it's worth it or not still. So, hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. Again, thanks to DJ Checker, Miami Beach, for sending me a bunch of packs, helping me just get a few cards to show you guys more decks. Appreciate it. Appreciate him for that. So, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.